Till now, what we have studied is what? Pointers, dynamic memory allocation, and files, right? That comprises of part A, which fetches you nearly 50 marks. Okay. The part B is what? Advanced concepts that you are going to study. That is data structures. This is very crucial concept, and this is actually you have to study. This is the, if you want to study data structures, you should be familiar with all these basic concepts like that you had studied, that is functions, pointers, dynamic memory allocation, structures, everything. You should be comfortable. Those, they are the prerequisites for you to understand data structures, right? Okay. Data structures. What is a data? Data is what? Define data. Data is what? Facts, figures, is it not? Even if you want to go to railway station, if you go railway station, if you want to travel from one place to another place, you take the request form and fill in details, right? Your name. Name is a string type of data, right? Date of journey is a date type of data. Your age is an integer data. Your sex is a character data. There are different data of data. We are living in the world of data. Everywhere data is there. Is it not? How you are going to store the data values in a computer in program? If you are using some programming language, I want to store data in a computer, means there comes a concept called variables, right? If you store the data in a variable, then it becomes a data type, is it not? So depending upon nature of the different types of data that you are going to put in a variable, you are going to have different data types, right? For example, if you store an integer in a variable, it becomes integer data type. It behaves integer. It behaves as an integer data type. Suppose if you store a string in a variable, it behaves as string data type, and there are some operations associated with string, and it behaves like a string. You cannot perform arithmetic operations in strings, right? For example, if you store integer data, you can do integer. So the data type, what it informs, it tells what type of data you are having in a variable and what are the operations that are associated with the variable, right? Okay. So data structure is what? Structuring the data. While you're storing in a computer memory, you have to store the computer, right? What is the working principle of computer? Input, process, output, right? You have to input the data and store the data in an efficient way, organized way. While storing the data, you have to organize the data, structure the data, so that you can manage it efficiently and effectively in the later stages. So data, why you want to store in an organized way, you want to manage it efficiently and effectively, is it not? So what are the different ways of storage, in terms of storage, in terms of retrieval, is it not? So that all forms the data structure. Data structure is a logical structuring, organization of the data. Just you have to remember, organize, storing the data in an efficient, effective way. That is data structure. For that, you are going to study number of algorithms. And the same algorithm is what? An unambiguous set of instructions with a definite execution sequence, completes after a finite amount of computation steps. That is step-by-step instructions. They're algorithms. Algorithms tell you what are the ways how you can store the data, how you can retrieve the data, what are the operations that you can perform with the data once you store the data. The same algorithm you can implement it in C language, is it not? Here, implementing the algorithm using a programming language called C, that is data structure using C. You can implement it in Java, Python, everything. Okay, any program algorithm, you can implement it. So here, one thing you should know. One is data is facts and figures. Information is processed data. Once you process the data, it becomes information. Data is captured it is raw data, right? Once you capture it and process it, storing it in a computer, then it becomes a meaningful form, is it not? Which is the information. So you are using a data processing machine system, is it not? Computer for that to store the data. So in data structures, you are going to have two classification. One question will come definitely. Define data structure. What is that? Organizing, structuring the data. That's all. Very, very specific answer. Organizing and storing the data in an efficient, effective way to manage the data effectively. Okay. There are two types in data structures. One is primitive data types, non-primitive data types. Classification. I'm telling you orally, you just note down that. There are mainly broadly, it is classified into two types: primitive data structures and non-primitive. Primitive means what? Basic, fundamental data types, basic data types that you have studied, right? Built-in data types: integer, float, character, string, pointer. These are all basic data types that you have studied. That comes under primitive data structures. Another is non-primitive data structures. In non-primitive, again it is classified into two types. What are those? Linear data structure and non-linear data structure. What is linear data structure? Linear is what? The arrangement of the data is in a linear fashion. One element is connected to another element in a linear form. Only one element is connected with only one element. Okay, for example, you take array, is it not? Array is what? It is a collection of data in a continuous form, stored in adjacent locations, right? In a contiguous memory locations. That is, it starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, array counting. So one element, second element is second location, third location, like that. So there is a single level, is it not? So we have two types: linear data structures and non-linear data structures. Linear data structures yaudu. Again, it is number of linear data structures. What are those data structures? Arrays, stacks, queues, lists, linked lists that you are going to study in this syllabus. You are having all these things. In linear data structure, arrays you have already studied in the previous year also. This year you are studying stacks, one concept called stack data structure, queue data structure, list, linked list. It's a collection of information stored in the form of nodes that you're going to study. Linked list. Okay. Linked list, one data structure. In non-linear data structure, you're having trees. The elements are not arranged sequentially in non-linear. It is in the form of trees, hierarchical form. So there is no one-to-one connection there, one-to-many relationships like that. One element is connected with number of elements. Okay. So ಇಷ್ಟು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ತರ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಇದು ನೋಡೋಣ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. Data structures broadly classified in two types: primitive and non-primitive. In primitive, you are having integer, float, character, that is string also will come, pointers, structures, those are things. So in non-primitive, you are having two types: linear data structures, non-linear data structures. Linear data structures, the arrangement of data is in linear form. Means the data is stored in a linear fashion, sequentially. In non-linear data structure, there is no linear arrangement of data. It is a tree type structure, hierarchical. That is one-to-many relationship. One data is connected with many other elements, any other items. But here one item is connected with another item in a linear fashion. Okay, that is arrays. I have told you arrays, lists, stacks, queues. Okay, in non-linear, trees and graphs. Along with that, in lists you are having three types: single linked list, double linked list, circular linked list. Okay, and for all these data structures, they follow some algorithm through which we can implement these data structures in a computer. For example, in stack, there is, what are the common operations associated with all these data structure is insertion, creation of a data structure. You have to create a stack, you have to create a queue, you have to create a linked list, isn't it? You have to create a tree. Okay, creation is one thing. First you have to create that. Once you create, you have to add the data into it. No, that is called insertion of data, deletion of data, I don't want unwanted data, I want to delete. So deletion, insertion, updation, modification. So all the data structures, you are going to perform these operations. Insertion, even in array also you can do, no? Array, you are deleting the data and you can insert new data item to the existing array, and you can delete. Okay, that is you have done already, is it not? In the stack also, you have to stacks and queues, list trees. You have to create. You can insertion. What are the common operations that you are going to perform? Is creation, insertion, deletion, updation. Updation is modification. Whatever the existing data which you want to modify. Okay. So these are the things that you are going to study, and along with that, you are going to study sorting and searching. Is it not? Sorting is one concept. You have to arrange the element either in ascending or descending order. Is it not? For that number of sorting algorithms that you are going to study, bubble sort, selection sort, quick sort, merge sort, radix sort. Okay. These are the basic sorting algorithms and their algorithms, programs, illustrations, how the bubble sort works, working of the sorting techniques. Again, that is one chapter is there, sorting and searching. Is it not? If you take selection sort, what is selection sort? How it works? What is an algorithm? And what is a program implementation for that algorithm? The same thing is in the lab set also. You have to do selection sort programming, C, bubble sort program, you have to implement it. Very simple programs. You can very easily understand those programs, provided you should have some basic knowledge of arrays and all. Okay. Next, okay, these are the things, okay, you have to go through in the coming sessions. Okay. So this is some different ways I'm doing this, which I'm not using board today. I'm talking to you head on directly, is it not? So some problems are there, circumstances, problems. I'm not in the position to do that. Taking for some circumstances, okay, I will do it, and I will make some short videos, YouTube videos also. I will upload the same that what I have told today. That makes more meaningful writing and explaining, right? Is it yes or no? Hello. Okay. Okay. Sariyappa, okay. I will close this today. Okay. Tomorrow we'll discuss regarding the stacks, queues, everything we'll discuss. Right. Should I stop now? Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay.
ಸರ್ ಬರೀ ಇಬ್ರೇ ಬಂದಿರೋದು.
ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡು, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ನಾನೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.